trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, down at the Capitol today, several controversial topics were discussed, including the death penalty and gun violence.
Plus, the maternal death rate has been steadily rising now for decades. We're going to tell you what medical experts believe are some of the causes.
But first tonight, after hitting 70 degrees yesterday, today falling snow across the state. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The first day of spring is next Monday, but for now, Mother Nature is not giving up on winter.
That's right. Some parts of the state seeing snow today, including Lincoln, most of it melting on the roads shortly after it came down. In some rural areas, though, a few slick spots here and there as the winds were blowing the snow across the roads. Let's take a look at the 511 map provided to us by the state.
Most of western Nebraska is doing just fine. That's the green. Now in the east, there is some purple. That means wet. Blue that you kind of see in northeast and southeast Nebraska, that means partially covered. So, and there's a little section up there right next to the South Dakota border that's pink, which means completely covered. So let's go check in with meteorologist Jessica Blum. She's in for Rusty tonight. Jessica, how are things looking out there now?
Yeah, as you guys were saying, some of the roads are drying up because the sun's peeking out just a little bit here across town as the snow started to come to an end, and it's starting to push off to the east. So again, some of the concerns that we have tonight might be a few slick spots if some of those low maintenance roads or some of those less travel roads that might have some slushy spots cooling down and refreezing overnight tonight. But as you can see from Beatrice, some sun is peeking out. Her Showens roofing cam, streets are beginning to dry up, and this is a live look at satellite and radar right now. Snow actively falling in extreme southeast Nebraska through Nemaha, Richardson, and Pawnee counties right now. I think we're still seeing some of that, but here in Lincoln, Beatrice just pushing off, and we're coming to an end as we come to this evening. But some of the other things that haven't slowed yet, the winds. We've seen visibility start to improve, but the winds are still strong out of the north, anywhere from 35 miles per hour sustained. Factor in some of those gusts up to 50 miles per hour in some spots, including 45 miles per hour here in Lincoln recently. So wind advisories through the eastern portions of the state, those go till late tonight till about 1 a.m. for gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour. Those stronger winds through about 7 o'clock tonight, and then they gradually come down to about 40 to 45 miles per hour through about midnight tonight. And I think we'll still see a pretty breezy day tomorrow on the backside of the system as cold air continues to pull in. We'll show you more of those details coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Jessica. Thanks for keeping us updated. In other news now, a group of Nebraskans are calling for the state to eliminate death penalties. The Nebraskans for Alternatives to the Death Penalties held a rally at the Capitol this morning.
It was to educate the public about what they say are racial and socioeconomic biases surrounding the death penalty. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleider joins us now with more. Matthew?
Senator Terrell McKinney has introduced 2 resolutions focused on criminal justice reform and says it's an inhumane policy that has contributed to racial disparities. One of the resolutions would ask voters to approve a constitutional amendment that eliminates the death penalty and reduces it to life imprisonment. The other would expand the Board of Pardons and create the Board of Commutations to help reduce the impact of unjustly harsh sentences. Supporters say the death penalty is outdated and doesn't actually help to enforce law and order.
There's been many individuals that were on death row and were executed that after their death they were found to be innocent. And that should be enough reason to say we have to get rid of this, because we shouldn't be killing innocent people, and we shouldn't be killing people at all, especially through the law.
No one in opposition of the bill testified today. We did try to reach out to senators who we believe would be against the amendments, but did not hear back. If passed, both amendments will be on the 2024 general election ballot next year. I'll have more on this story at 6 tonight.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. We're just over the halfway point now in the 2023 legislative session, and Senator Michaela Cavanaugh announced today she was taking a break on her filibuster.
Cavanaugh spent the last 3 weeks slowing the passing of laws to a crawl by introducing amendment after amendment to every bill on the state Senate floor, with the intention of taking up all 8 hours of debate allowed by the rules. Cavanaugh said her main reason for filibustering was to draw attention to LB 574, or the Let Them Grow Act, which would prohibit anyone under 19 from receiving gender-altering procedures.
If we're going to save lives of trans kids, it's worth it. 100% it's worth it. I think it's time to move forward with the session. I think it's time to debate the actual bill and show the people of Nebraska that we will not legislate hate and move forward and actually get to the business of the state.
She said this isn't the end of filibustering on bills that she believes are bad policy. Speaker Arch says he and Kavanaugh came to an agreement to allow other bills being debated to move forward and instead limit debate on LB 574 to a scheduled time next week. Also at the Capitol, parents, teachers, and students joined a group of organizations today to talk about gun control in our state.
They were asking senators for more bills to protect students from gun violence. Channel 8's Veronica Barretto joins us now with more on that story. Veronica?
Nebraskans Against Gun Violence and the Nebraska chapter of Moms Demand Action gathered at the Capitol in support of gun control in our state. Organizers say the gun violence problem has gotten worse for young people in our schools. They say it is the #1 cause of death in the U.S. for children. The organizations also spoke against some bills proposed in the legislature, like LB 77, also known as the Concealed Carry Bill.
Our nation continues to see mass shootings in places like Uvalde, Parkland, Buffalo, El Paso, and so many more. Our own Nebraska communities have felt the brunt of gun violence, whether that be from the farmer suicides in our rural communities, everyday gun violence, the Von Mar shooting, and the attempted shooting at an Omaha Target earlier this year.
This was part of the 5-year anniversary of the school walkouts following the Parkland shooting in Florida. Coming up at 6 o'clock, I will have more on what other organizations had to say and also on those supporting pro-gun bills in our state.
All right, Veronica, talk to you at 6 o'clock. The Nebraska Department of Education and a nonprofit are conducting reunification trainings and drills.
It's for school districts and first responders across the state. These sessions focus on teaching participants the necessary steps to reunite students with their parents after an incident at the school. The aim is to equip schools with the tools and processes to prepare everyone for emergencies. There's already been 2 trainings this week, and 1 more is scheduled for tomorrow in Gering. Overnight, several crews were called to a fire around the BNSF trail yard near West O Street.
We have very limited details tonight, but here's a look from the scene where firefighters appeared to be working on a train car there. This all happened a little after 3 a.m. today. Now, we did reach out to BNSF for more information on the fire, and we have not heard back. UNL police are searching for a suspect after a reported 3rd-degree sexual assault on campus.
UNL PD says it took place around 10:30 yesterday morning on a sidewalk. Police say a man turned around and grabbed a woman's butt who was walking in the opposite direction near 17th and Vine Streets. They say the suspect is a dark-complected male with black hair, about 6 feet tall, and was last seen wearing a gray and black jacket and gray sweatpants. UNLPD is urging students and faculty to call for help if you feel unsafe and if you have any information on this suspect. A tragic accident near Myrna, Nebraska. A broken bow man lost his life after being trapped in a grain bin.
The incident happened on Tuesday around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Several rescue crews tried to save the man, but unfortunately, they say, Christopher Ogle was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Authorities are now investigating on exactly how the tragedy happened. The Lincoln Police Department is gearing up for increased patrol across the city as they prepare for St. Patrick's Day.
The efforts will start this Friday with compliance checks at liquor stores and then move to the roadways. The goal is to protect and reduce the number of motor vehicle crashes. It's funded by the Nebraska Department of Transportation's Highway Safety Office. Teams will be in 4 designated areas across Lincoln to make contact with liquor establishments, enforcing safe serving practices.
There's going to be an officer assigned to each team, and so what they'll do is they'll go to the different liquor establishments. Obviously, we try to contact as many as we can, but sometimes just due to circumstances we can't do that.
Captain Kosian urges safe driving practice and taking ride-sharing services if necessary. Nebraska faces an 80,000 job shortage despite its low 2.5% unemployment rate.
To address the issue, leaders gathered for what they call Workforce Week. It focuses on retaining young talent and recruiting new workers. Ideas include making higher education more affordable, also allocating about $10 million to career programs, and easing the tax burden for remote workers.
And nationally, first-time claims for unemployment insurance fell again last week. The Department of Labor says claims dropped to 192,000. That's down 20,000 from the prior week. While the Federal Reserve has been hoping for a softening of the labor market, it continues to prove remarkably resilient. New federal data is showing a disturbing trend. The death rate due to complications from pregnancy or childbirth is climbing.
A new report from the CDC says there were nearly 33 deaths per 100,000 live births in 2021, a sharp increase from years earlier.
Sadly, I don't think it's surprising that we see this spike. We definitely saw that we were seeing sicker patients during this time.
The maternal death rate has been steadily rising for decades now, and while there is really no single cause for the jump, many medical experts believe COVID-19 compounded the existing crisis. The report also notes continued racial disparities. The maternal death rate for Black women was 2.5 times the rate for white women.
During 2021, we saw the Delta variant, which was predominant, which really affected pregnant people, both in terms of maternal outcomes, but also pregnancy outcomes. People who are Black or Hispanic were disproportionately affected by the COVID pandemic. And, that disparity now is presenting itself in maternal death rates as well.
President Biden says he's addressed the issue, including the introduction of the Black Maternal Momnibus Act of 2021, a sweeping bipartisan package of bills that aim to support Black mothers. And coming up on our news here at 5 o'clock, the dramatic video of the collision that took down an unmanned U.S. drone in the Black Sea.
We'll have that in your full forecast after the break.
This year
Tonight, dramatic video of the collision that took down an unmanned U.S. drone in the Black Sea. The Pentagon has released it, and now both the U.S. and Russia are eager to recover what's left of that craft.
The video shows the Russian jets spray fuel right there on the drone. Then one jet rapidly advances vertically before apparently colliding with the drone's propeller. Russia is denying it used fighter jets to down the drone and is accusing the U.S. of flying the unmanned craft in the restricted area.
But the Pentagon released this map showing the location of the interceptions in an attempt to prove they were within their rights.
You've heard us say before that Ukraine has a right to defend itself, and we have a right to help them alongside the international community. Russia's inaccurate information, false information, obfuscation, grasping at straws, changing narratives also speaks for itself. So we're going to stay focused on the facts, and we're going to stay focused on our mission.
We have absolute evidence of the contact, the intercepts, et cetera, and it's very aggressive. There's no question that part of it's intentional. The actual physical contact of the aircraft, that I'm not so sure.
The general also said that while we don't have ships in the area for recovery, we do have allies that could help, and Russia cannot retrieve any sensitive information from the wreckage as they took mitigating measures during the interception. The Biden administration is increasingly concerned about TikTok data security.
They're warning the app could be banned in the U.S. if the company cannot reach an agreement with the federal government. Fears mount that the app could be used by the Chinese government for spying on American citizens. The Committee on Foreign Investments is leading the investigation into TikTok.
CFIUS has a process that they're going through. We're going to let them go through their process. We have concerns, as we have said many times before. We take the national security very seriously. The president takes that very seriously. The safety of Americans very seriously. The privacy of Americans very seriously. And so we're not going to get ahead of the review, but certainly we, again, support this bipartisan legislation.
Yesterday, the UK moved on the app, banning it on all government phones. Similar bans are in place in both the US and EU. TikTok's CEO is scheduled to testify before Congress for the first time next week.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with meteorologist Jessica Blum.
I'll tell you, right before the show, I went outside, took a little ruler, old-fashioned, stuck it in the ground in a few spots around our station, and just under an inch. I think here at the station we saw some parts of southeast Nebraska, I think saw just under an inch too. So spots around town, I think northwest Lancaster saw a little bit heavier snow with some big flakes falling this morning once we saw that full transition to snow. But this is how it looks outside. Pretty dreary, as you can see. Strong winds, the story of today too, but the roads are clearing out and really looking good for the evening commute tonight. But wind gusts around southeast Nebraska, 40, 45, close to 50 miles per hour in some spots near Hastings, and across the state's been a similar story. 48 miles per hour, gusts out of the northwest, 38 North Platte, 46 in McCook, and expected to see this stay with us for some time tonight. Even that snow is moving on. We're still going to see these winds stay with us through late tonight, anywhere from 40 to 45 miles per hour up through midnight, and then we start to calm down generally going into the early morning hours of Friday. Calm down, but still by next afternoon, we could see 40 mile per hour wind gusts towards the Panhandle, about 30, 35 miles per hour here in eastern Nebraska through Friday afternoon. So still going to be a breezy day tomorrow. Again, with some of those colder temperatures, we'll look at some of that in just a bit. But satellite radar showing we're starting to see all of that come to an end, just a little bit ongoing in southeastern portions of the state near Nemaha and Pawnee counties right now. But Stormcast showing that this all moves on later tonight. We might have some leftover cloud cover that'll generally start to clear up by the early morning hours of Friday. And we're not completely done. We might have a few stray flurries moving through the area, north central portions of the state by 6 a.m., moving closer to Lincoln by about 11 o'clock, just before lunchtime. Can't rule a few flurries out for tomorrow before we start to see generally some cloudy skies returning by the evening hours into Friday. So again, a little mix of sunshine tomorrow after we see some flurries. And the main concern tonight, we are dropping below freezing again. So if there are any roads that do have some wet spots or some slush still hanging around, those spots could could refreeze overnight tonight, especially with wind gusts still upwards of 45 miles per hour. So we'll see slow clearing through the night, strong winds, lows around the lower 20s, if not upper teens throughout our area. And then the forecast for tomorrow, still some strong winds, so we still have a chill to the air. That air might actually pinch you if someone else doesn't on St. Patrick's Day. Got highs right around 39 degrees here in the capital city, then becoming partly sunny by the afternoon. So that's kind of what we're looking for in the near future. We are going to have cold air settling in Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday looking like the better day this weekend with highs back in the 40s and a lot more sunshine. And then spring, like we were talking about a little bit ago, is returning by Monday. Highs going to be back in the 50s and more near normal for this time of the year before we kind of see an interesting week full of just rain chances for now, kind of looking more like April. Seeing temperatures warm enough to keep it as rain for now, I think we'll start to see that pattern start to pick up as we go later and later into this month. But colder tomorrow. We might see some wind chills on Saturday morning too, reaching around 0, if not below. So colder a few days here before we start to warm back up next week.
Megan, I'm a little concerned. Jessica said somebody could pinch us tomorrow.
Yeah, but you know who can't wear green?
So she might get pinched, yeah, because of the...
I'll find a loophole.
As many of you know, the green screen she stands in front of is chroma key green.
Yes, you can't wear green or you blend right in. So Rod and I will be wearing green tomorrow, but
we'll see
better
who
watch
gets
out,
pinched.
Jessica.
I will be on the lookout.
All right, thank you very much. Great day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining 372 points. NASDAQ is up 283. S&P adding 68. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
Finally tonight, how about this? NASA says the moon has much more water on it than they once believed. Now they have a map to show it. This is the first detailed and wide area map of water distribution on the lunar surface.
Researchers believe much of the lunar water can be found on the moon's south pole. The darker the blue area here that you see, that means the water is more concentrated. NASA says this is important because lunar water could be one day be as critical as a resource for establishing a long-term human presence on the moon.
Yeah, when we go to live on the moon. Who knows, right? All right, let's get a final check of our weather with Jessica.
Yeah, one thing I haven't shown you yet tonight, a time lapse of this whole event from this morning. We started out with rain, saw a little bit of a break, and then it moved on to snow. So let's look at that via our Allo cam this evening. Rain, saw those streets get wet. They dried out for just a little bit, and then the snow came down and really reduced visibilities for a time before we cleared out. And we're actually starting to see little peaks of sunshine yet this evening. So it's kind of where it looks like here in Lincoln, around town and around the area. Beatrice still seeing some clouds, but those strong north winds out of the north, anywhere from 35 to close to 40 miles per hour sustained, if not with those gusts. And we're seeing some clearing out west. Here's a live look at Aurora with our Penner Basin Solutions camera. So you can tell our cameras are having a hard time holding on to, just shaking in the wind. But wind advisories again through tonight are going to last through about 1 a.m. Gusts possible, especially in eastern Nebraska, up to 50 miles per hour. So blowing areas of snow could still be possible, especially in open areas if you're having to travel through tonight, and maybe some slick spots too. But wind gusts throughout the day tomorrow, a little bit less. It's not going to be quite as crazy as we've seen the last couple of days, but still could see breezes upwards of 25, 30 miles per hour through the afternoon, giving us a little bit more of a bite to the air as we have highs only around 39 degrees for the day. A few flurries can't be ruled out in the early morning hours too, and then we have colder air just settling in for a time through Saturday. Highs only in about the 20s, and Saturday morning could really be starting off in the single digits, if not below, with some of those wind chills, and then we start to warm back up on Sunday with a lot more sunshine and highs near 42 degrees. So only about an inch seen here in Lincoln. I think we'll be faring better in the next couple of days. I don't think it'll last very long, especially as we make it to Sunday, start to see some more melting, and then we're going to be back to normal as spring returns on Monday. And a lot more warmer temperatures are here to stay.
All right, thank you, Jessica, and thank you for joining us.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Amigos Seafood is back with crisp crab rangoon and new crisp lobster roll burritos, fish and shrimp tacos, and butterfly shrimp baskets too. It's seafood season at Amigos.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Stop searching for value in all the wrong